Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel where it is all about racing. I'm Mark, and I'm here to talk about what is wrong with Mini GT. Now, as you know, I collect a lot of Mini GT models. As you can see here, this is just a small sampling of them, but there are a number of problems that plague Mini GT that I just wanted to expand and be very specific about. And I know this is probably going to irritate some folks out there. Sorry. Now, Mini GT is a sister company of TSM. Now, TSM stands for True Scale Miniatures. You can see one of their 4 GTs there under the 1/64 scale version. And if you take a look at the back of these boxes, you'll see TSM model, True Scale Miniatures, proudly presents our 1/64 Mini GT series. Now, they say feature high-quality 1/64 scale model cars. Metal body and chassis. Okay, that's nice. Detailed under chassis, virtually non-existent. Soft rubber mirrors and rubber tires, true, but also a problem. Detailed wheel design, not true. And whatever LHD and RHD versions available for most models, I have no idea what the heck that is. So first off, what's good about Mini GT? In the 1/64 scale, what I call collector's grade cars, they're inexpensive, $10 to $15, cheapest in scale. Not as cheap as Hot Wheels or Matchboxes, but then again, they're not even in the same ballpark. You do have attractive collector's boxes, which are nice. They're great for storage, but once you get the car out of them, they're pretty useless. They have exclusive licensing. One thing you'll see here is you have Corvette over on the right. You've got the Acura NSXs, which we're going to talk about in great detail in the middle, and you've got the Ford GT on the left. They are hard to find with other manufacturers in that scale. Now, scale and casting are good and true to 1/64 scale. IXO, which is another manufacturer of pretty good 1/43 scale cars, had a real casting problem and scale issue with their Ford GTs, and I've talked about that in significant detail, so we won't discuss it here. Also, some of them are of limited quantities, which you can see with that Ford GT is one of 1,800. Most of these cars are made in batches of 10,000 or more, even what I consider the best of 1/64 scale class, the Tarmac Works cars. Next, we'll get to what I consider both good and bad. If you like cars that roll freely, these do. As you can see, they freely move back and forth. Now, this is good if you like a car to roll around on your desk or if you're 6 years old. But if you put them in a display case and they roll, the problem is, when you maybe have to move it, as most of the display cases I have for 1/64 scale, or portable, or I have examples in 1/18 scale that didn't come with bases or jewel covers, and they roll around, which is a real pain in the butt. Now here's the bad, and I'm just going to show you. This is my script here for this particular video. And as you can see, there's a lot of bad. So let's get on to that, because that's what this is really about. What is wrong with Mini GT? And one of the things I mentioned is they come in blister packs, which they're meant for retail sale, basically. That's why they have these, because you can hang them on shelves. They do lack a base and an acrylic jewel cover, something that is not totally uncommon in 1/64 scale. Even Sparky models, some of them don't come with them, but all Tarmac Works models do. Granted, they're about 3 times more expensive than Mini GT are. As far as high quality details, and this is what kind of made me laugh about what I read to you off the back of the Mini GT box, they say their tires and wheels are highly detailed. Well, if by meaning you have highly detailed wheels, the fact that you've got spokes, yeah, the tires are rubber, but they lack the manufacturer's markings on it. Lack of photo-etched parts. You're going to see virtually none of that on any of it. Well, not virtually, none of that on any of these cars. You have no antennas and no tow hooks, something that you do find on Tarmac Works cars. In the Acura particular, and the reason I showed you 4 of these is they're missing one very simple part to put in there, but are glaringly missing from it, unlike their TSM 1/43 scale counterparts, and that is the radiator. For example, take a look at this Castrol car. Now, this one is painted green, and the lack of a radiator on it is just glaringly awful. Now, for the ones that are black, for example, like the Acura, They did paint it black in there where the car is white, unlike the Castrol car, but still it lacks a radiator. The same can be said true of this pink and black Acura NSX, as well as the blue Castrol model. Granted, the hood is black, but it's painted black in there, so it kind of hides what you don't have. Now, one of the things I like about the Ford GT is our Ford GT model is really pretty good. It's well done in scale. Notice that for the Le Mans 24, they had 4 of the models, and to differentiate one from the other than the numbers, they had, getting back to that, they had strips on the top of the windshield banner. In this case, number 67 car was blue. They also had matching blue mirrors, as you can see in the TSM car beneath it. It lacks that on the 1/64 scale model. And that I just put down to cheap, because they do have colored mirrors on the Corvette, which has the obvious red mirrors. Now to one of the most glaring problems with Mini GT, and this is exclusive to the C8 Corvette. A really nice looking car, nicely done, but the color of it is all wrong. This basically is gray. Now beneath it, I have the sister TSM model, which is this gunmetal silver color, not gray. They can do it in 143 scale. Why can't they do it in 164? I just call this just plain glaringly cheap, maybe a quality control issue, maybe a design issue, or maybe just stupid. And finally, I have quality control issues. Now, as you know, virtually at any scale, mirrors are fragile. They're fragile in real life, they're fragile in model cars. This particular Acura actually came with one mirror, which is now missing, but it was lacking a second mirror. Now, this is a problem that I have with Sparky cars as well. I've never had that issue with Tarmac Works in 164, or any car for that matter in 143 or 118 scale, ever. Although they are fragile and can be easily knocked off. But that obviously is a huge quality control issue with this. The other one is paint defects. And I'm not just talking about minor paint defects. I'm talking about lack of paint or thereof. And I pulled this white Acura NSX GT to show you. You see on the right side of this and on the left, you have a really nicely, I guess you could call it perforated grille or details, where you can actually see the grille details. On the Acura NSX, on the Magnus one, number 44 car, it's just black. But what is even worse than that is the left-hand side. And you'll notice 2 things. The B panel, painted black on the Acura NSX, left white on the Magnus Racing one, and the grille, glaringly white. Just absolutely looks terrible, is inexcusable. And the second model that I had, because I was so upset with that one I did buy a second one, just took a chance, and they got it right in this one. I mean, it's black like it should be. It shows that they can do it. They just lacked to do it with this one. Anyhow, folks, that wraps it up. Let me know if you're a collector and if you have the same perspective as I do with Mini GT or otherwise. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.